know there's people still out there trying to figure out the jump shot perfect for them and perfect for their build. No matter how tall you are, no matter your 3-point rating, in today's video you will definitely see a jump shot base or a jump shot in general that'll help you become a better shooter. But before we get into that, make sure y'all boys drop a like on this video, also subscribe and turn on post notifications, because there's a lot of information and it took a lot of data to get all these bases and all these jump shots together for y'all. It doesn't matter if you're a small guard, a big guard, a lockdown, a popper, a stretch big, a 7-footer that wants to be able to shoot, there's something in here for y'all in today's video. Now look, for the best dribble pull-ups in the game, these are the best ones. This is one of the most common ones that you're gonna see. If you're on a 6'10" and up, the only one you can really use is Dirk. Until you end up hitting starter 3, you can unlock Kevin Durant dribble pull-up. But for the guards, like the small guards, this is what you're gonna end up messing around with. Ben McLemore is a good one to use. This is what other guards end up using, but a lot of people end up messing with this one on the 6'2s all the way to 6'6", 6'8s. The Pro 2 has been taking over the game. I've been seeing a lot of Pro 2 users when it comes to fading. I know some of y'all might say normal 2, but Pro 2 has been the one that I've been seeing a lot. And if you're someone that's between the 6'5 and 6'10 under height, you will be able to use Kobe Bryant. This is the ones that I've been seeing the most. And when it comes to shooting with these, most of them are going to be used by holding R2. Now we're going to start out with the big man, the 6'10s and up. If you're someone that's on a 6'10 stretch, or you're on a build that got a 73-pointer, 75, or even an 85 3-pointer, today I will help you out. Or if you got a high mid-range and you want to unlock a crazy base, I got y'all. But for the first base for 6'10 and up, it is Kevin Durant. You do need at least an 86 mid-range or 86 3-pointer to unlock this. It is a fast jump shot once you put your releases on it. The same thing with this Davis Bertans base. It is a little slow when you end up just seeing it as default for the releases, but once you actually put an actual good release on it, it'll make everything speed up. But if you're someone that's on a bigger build and they got a low 3-pointer, like a bare minimum 70, 72, use this Andre Drummond base. It has a requirement of 56, so you can be able to put some releases on this and get crazy with it if you really want to, and even make it fast with the Jaren Jackson release. Now look, the next one is Jonathan Isaac base. It is a fluid base. This is a good little catch and shoot base, especially for someone that has at least like a 77 3-point rating. I would keep it around there, but as of James Jones, this is one I would definitely recommend for somebody that wants another up and down jump shot. He does go a little bit forward in his shot, but it is a very consistent shot. Now Eric Pascal is a base that a lot of people sleep on, but this one is maybe my favorite base for builds that's over 6'10 and up, that has at least a high mid-range to be able to get this. Now I am using this on my KD build, my 6'10 KD build, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. As of the jump shot I'm using with this build, I use Eric Pascal, I use Marvin Bagley III, and I use Tim Duncan. Now as the speed is max speed, 35-60 blend. Now you can end up messing around with this if you want to, if you got to build with a high mid-range, but all you really need is a 85 mid-range to end up making this actual jump shot. Now for this next one, it's Andre Drummond. You gotta have a 70, and like I told y'all earlier, throw that Jaren Jackson Jr. on your release. It's gonna end up speeding up that jump shot. Watch, I can take the Dirk off right now and do pure Jaren Jackson on both releases. My jump shot release speed is gonna end up going from an A- to an A. Now if you want to end up doing a little blended with the Dirk, you can, but just know at a certain point you're gonna lose the speed and you're gonna possibly lose immunity on your actual release. Now that's up to you if you want to change the blended, but hey, you can rock out with the Andre Drummond, Jaren Jackson pure. But if you're someone that's going to be out there really shooting, and you got a higher 3-pointer, there's going to be one right here that's going to really change your eyes when it comes to shooting. Now, if you don't got a super high 3-pointer, you got a 77, it's a good range. This is what we're going to use: PJ Washington, Tim Duncan, and then you got Charles Bassey. Now this is 55-45. If you don't like this, you can rock out with this PJ Washington base. You got PJ Washington, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Tim Duncan, 28-72. Now PJ Washington, his base is not super quick, but it is a great one to use, like visually, to actually time. This is one of those bases that is actually simple to time just because I got Tim Duncan at the end of my release. But if you're someone with a higher mid-range or even a higher 3-pointer, you can rock out with the Jonathan Isaac, Gallinari, and then the Tim Duncan 30-70 max speed. It's a good catch and shoot jump shot, especially for a big that has at least an 82 mid-range or 82-3. Now I've been talking about the 6'10s that need jump shots. Now we gonna get into everybody else, like my guards, my lockdowns, my poppers. I got y'all. So as of the little guards, my small 6'2, 6'3s, and 6'4 guards that has the Curry bases and things like that, we're gonna work with y'all real quick because it's not that many great bases for small guards this year. I've been noticing that it's been better bases for the taller builds as of the 6'10 6'6s and the 6'7s. There's a lot of good builds and bases. But for my guards, we're gonna start out with the Bradley build base. This base is very slept on. It's mostly a good catch and shoot, but if you're someone with a low 3-point rating, you can end up using this if you don't have a 92 jump shot or you don't got an 87. That's a good one to run with. Jalen Brunson is one to use. This will run around to a higher 3-point rating, like 84 or 85. But Stephen Curry has been all the guards go to. This is literally all you need is a 92 3-pointer to end up unlocking the base, but this has been everybody go to jump shot. Now, James Harden is a slept on one. A lot of people, you might not really like it because it's a little bit slow, but if you're someone that's not really the main ball handler, James Harden is not that bad. But it is just an option just based on how you time your jump shot. You might be somebody that's timing their jump shot better with a slower jump shot, but maybe horrible with a faster one. Now for this one and the next one, this is definitely a good one to have. You have like an 82, 84 3-pointer, Markelle Fultz, and then you have Kyle Lowry. So if you got those two bases, you can end up making good jump shots if you a guard with a low 3-pointer around like 83, 82. But if you're someone with a higher 3-pointer, hey, Terrence Mann base is nasty. Terrence Mann base definitely shocked me this year at the beginning of the year. The first week of the game, I knew Terrence Mann base is going to be a good base, but you have to find some releases that doesn't give you a weird hitch. And then you know about the KPJ. Kevin Porter Jr. base from 2K23. It's not the same kind of, but it still gets the job done. But if you get comfortable with using that, you can, but you definitely got better bases on this list that you can end up using. Now, JJ Redick is literally like a lower version of a Stephen Curry, but you do need an 88 3-point rating. So if you get an 88 3-point rating, you can end up getting JJ Redick base. But you gotta end up finding some nice releases. That's one thing I definitely say. You can end up throwing the same thing you throw on your Curry, but I'm gonna definitely tell you it's a little bit slower than Curry. Now, Marcus Smart is one that's new. I didn't think Marcus Smart base was like really like that. It's kind of like the Kyle Lowry, but it's kind of iffy here and there if you got a lower 3-pointer. John Stockton is one that a lot of guards are using as well. I do prefer if you use John Stockton and using max speed, put your actual visual cue on like release. Don't put it on push. I'm gonna be honest. If you put it on push, it's gonna say slightly late most of the time. And then the last one will be John Wall. I've been seeing a lot of top rep guards use this John Wall. They go back and forth from Curry, John Wall, John Stockton. Those been the main 3 bases I've seen for all like the competitive players or top reps that's been playing in the game. But I do like the John Wall. It does have a smooth release when it comes to shooting. Now, as the first jump shot I'm gonna show you is the Stephen Curry, Oscar Robertson, Kemba Walker. You can mix this up as much as you want. If you don't want to use Oscar Robertson, you want to Darius Garland, you can mix a lot of things up. But when it comes to these Curry bases, I do prefer to use push or release based on how I'm feeling. Sometimes you might use push, sometimes you might use release, and you could use this Curry base 3 out of 4 to help you end up finding your sweet spot, and you end up getting the time and stability go up if you end up dropping the 3/4. That minor change might end up helping you become a better shooter just by putting your Curry base on 3/4 and then trying to find a blend that works perfectly in a visual cue. Now the next one is the John Wall custom. John Wall, Oscar Robertson, Anthony Simons. Now this is a max speed, or you can end up going 3/4, but you can go 30-70 on this one. This base right here, I love the John Wall base, bro. I'm telling you, the John Wall base, if it was a little bit faster than Curry, I definitely would use it more, but it is a good visual jump shot to have. Like, it's very fluent. When you get to shooting with John Wall, it's a nice up and down jump shot. Now, John Stockton, Oscar Robertson, John Wall. That's up to you if you want to use John Wall as your last, but as of this, it's 56-44. You can go max speed if you want to, but I prefer use release, and you can go 3/4, but I still prefer you go release because that's how fast that jump shot is. Now we have Malachi Flynn, Terry Rozier, and Oscar Robertson. Max speed, 40-60 blend. This base is somewhat similar to Curry base, but it's a jump shot that's way better on the catch and shoot than off the dribble. But now for my big guards, my lockdowns, my poppers, my stretch bigs, you're going to see a lot of information for y'all shooting ability and y'all bases. When I say the 6'5" all the way to the 6'9" 3-point threshold for those builds, they have a lot of great bases that you can use. If you can't find a base that you like, it's a problem, because the first one we got Harrison Barnes. Off the rip with no blending on the actual release, you got an A+ off rip. Now this is a great spot up jump shot to use. Next you got KCP. KCP base I would mostly use on like a lockdown, a popper, things like that. These bases that I'm gonna give you, you're gonna see a lot of them are great bases, and I haven't put a release on them yet. All I have is literally the base and the speed maxed out on the base. But another good base for spot ups or lockdowns, poppers, Pat McConnington is definitely a good base to use, but it's a lot of great ones as well. Just like this Jared Culver base, I think you need at least like an 84 3-pointer or 85 3-pointer to get this base, and this base is definitely one that you want to have in the books. It don't matter if you gotta have the mid-range or the 3, it's a good base to have. Now Dante Exum, now this is a hit or miss based on who you are. This is a spot up jump shot, or it could be an ISO jump shot, like 6'6" ISO, and you can use this as an ISO jump shot, but I really wouldn't prefer it, but you could use this more of a spot up jump shot. Now Dyson Daniels, I've been told y'all about Dyson Daniels since the game came out. You can use Dyson Daniels on an ISO, you can use it as a spot up, you can use it as a popper, it's up to you. Now for this Kevin Huerter jump shot, you could use this on a stretch big. It's more like a better catch and shoot actual base, but if you want to use this on like a 6'6" that got a 92 3-pointer or one of those builds, you could, but I wouldn't prefer it. It's more like a catch and shoot base. But now if you're someone with a lower 3-pointer around that 75 to 77, 78 3-point range, you can use Herman Gomez, because once you throw your releases on this, it's going to end up pushing it to a 77 or 78 when you end up putting your release that you want. Now Gordon Hayward, this is a one that you need a high 3-point rating to unlock. You need at least a 85 or 84 3-point rating. Gordon Hayward base is definitely one that I like this year. This is definitely one that I'm keeping in my pocket and definitely using consistently. It don't matter if you're ISO, it don't matter if you're catching and shooting, but most of the time you're going to be on an ISO build, because most lockdowns can't get a high mid-range like that unless they're going to sacrifice their 3. Now y'all see another base that returned, Romeo Langford. I've been telling y'all for my spot ups, my lockdowns, even if someone on the 6'6" and you're trying to ISO and things like that, you don't need a high 3-point rating to use this or a high mid-range. You only need like a 77, 78, and you can make a great jump shot out of using Romeo Langford. But for this David base, if you're someone with a lower 3-pointer, you got like a 70, 72, 73, or under that 75, you can use this David base. And then you got the Scotty Barnes, and then you got the Michael Porter Jr.'s. Now you gotta have a high 3-point rating to unlock those. As you see, both requirements is an 86 3-pointer just to unlock the bases. Now for the last one you're gonna see is David Roddy. Now this one is kind of iffy. It has a great, I like the feel of David Roddy shot. The thing about it is the defensive immunity. No matter what release you throw on this, the defensive immunity is going to be kind of it's going to be kind of iffy. But as of other jump shots you see, like Ben Shepherd, you're going to see a D-, but once you actually throw a release on it, it ends up jumping up better. Now Ben Shepherd is way better than JT Thor. It's the faster version, but you got to have a higher 3-point rating to use this actual base. Now as you see, J.R. Smith, this is the base I would recommend for my big guards, especially a big guard with a high 3-pointer or even a low 3-pointer, just because how he shoots the ball. It's a good up and down shot, and he twists the body just a little, and it's a very fluent base. Now look, we got the JT Thor. If you're someone that has a lower 3-pointer around the actual like 77, 78, or 79, you already know everybody's using JT Thor. But if you're someone that can get a higher 3-point rating and you want to use something better than JT Thor, use that Ben Shepherd. I'm gonna tell you that now, use that. But last but not least, PJ Tucker. If y'all remember for 2K23, PJ Tucker base was tough for lockdowns. I think the rating did change. I think they dropped it to like a 78 rating that you really need to have PJ Tucker, but I definitely recommend it for lockdowns 6'6" or 6'7" to end up using that actual base. Now as of the jump shots, I got y'all boys. Now you want to see a consistent sequence of these jump shots. I'm gonna show you the same release but different bases. We're gonna start out with the Romeo Langford. Got the Oscar Robertson Sadiq Bay 6238 max speed. As you see, you got an A release height, A release speed, and you got a B immunity when it comes to shooting. Now as I show you these 3 different types of bases, you're gonna see on Ben Shepherd, you need a higher 3-pointer. You need at least around like an 80, 85 to end up unlocking this, but you gotta end up having Oscar Robertson Sadiq Bay 75, 25, and as you see it, I have an A+ speed, and I can drop this to literally 3/4 and then be very similar with an A height and a B immunity. Now if you're someone with a lower 3-point rating, you're gonna see you're gonna have the JT Thor Oscar Robertson Sadiq Bay, but 65, 35 max speed, A, and then you have a B- immunity on this shot, but it ends up bringing out to a 79 3-pointer at the end. So if you run like 6'7" or something like that, you'll be able to use this jump shot, but if you got a higher mid-range, you'll still be able to use this jump shot. Now as I just showed you 3 different bases just with the same release, just different blendings, you will see which ones are going to end up fitting certain people. With some people who got the higher 3-pointer like the 92s, they might go with the Ben Shepherd. Some people might go with the Romeo Langford, but this one right here, the Gordon Hayward base, I told y'all, you better look out. Look at the A+ on the release speed. It is maxed out. Now with this, you can end up having different actual first releases. Like I had Paul George. Now I can go to Danny Green, then I can go to Evan Fournier. The thing will be exactly the same for my first actual, it will be very similar. The only thing that's going to change is my release height, just because that Troy Brown release is just chicken. I'm telling you, that Troy Brown release got that 40-60 blend no matter what, and then you got that max speed. You can end up putting this on 3/4 if you want to, but that Troy Brown release is actually nice to have on your jump shot. Now Ben Shepherd, James Harden, then you got Evan Fournier. I usually use this on my 6'6" guard or even on my lockdown, but on my lockdown I only have a 79 3-pointer, so you know I can't use Ben Shepherd. I would have to change the actual base to JT Thor, but as of the blending, it is 66-34. And like I told you, on my lock, JT Thor, James Harden, Evan Fournier, max speed 45-55, got an A speed, B height, and a B+ immunity when it comes to using this. Now, a lot of you guys are going to see a lot of jumps that you can use on the ISO. Some of y'all can use on a popper, some of y'all can use on a lockdown. There's a lot of different things you can use, even on a stretch big. You're going to see a lot of different options and a lot of different actual things that you can use between the 6'6" to the 6'9" range. But for the last jump shot, we have David Roddy Bass, Sadiq Bey, and Charles Baisley. Now, this is a 58-42 blend max speed. I do recommend you to use this actual on release because this jump shot is very quick. The only thing about this, if somebody can text you with this jump shot, it's going to be very bad for you. It's going to speed up very, very fast. Like, you're going to shoot a late every time if somebody get a crazy contest. But if you enjoyed this video and it helps you find the best base for you, the best jump shot to fit your build and your attributes, hey man, make sure y'all boys drop a like on the video, subscribe, turn on notifications. If y'all want more videos like this in the future to help y'all find a great jump shot for a different build, hey, I got y'all. Hey, make sure y'all boys check out the 2 videos on the screen if y'all haven't yet.